Hello everyone. Today I'm here with another video with a very interesting topic. Now this topic actually talks about Mindvalley and how it teaches that your inner state can actually create your outer world. But what happens when you are not receiving like it's this is actually just this is a best application of when you're really not receiving the love and admiration which you long for. And I really started applying this theory of Mindvalley in my own relationship. The theory of creating your outer world through actually altering your inner state. So it started with a very painful realization. So in my relationship, I wasn't feeling very seen, valued, or admired, right? And when I say my relationship, I mean my marriage, the way I wanted it. So I wanted, I turned a very simple but powerful principle given by Mindvalley, and it really changed everything. And this is not something which I'm fabricating. I am telling you, I am the testimony of this theory which Mindvalley teaches, where you can, through your inner state, actually change the external environment. And that's actually pretty simple. It's not as complicated as it sounds. So today I'll share how I became my own husband. Yes, I know it sounds like I'll just give you like a couple of seconds to absorb this thing. I became my own husband. And I'm telling you how this situation, how this really simple technique of mine aligned perfectly with Mindvalley's teachings, and how it transformed not only my relationship but my own sense of self. So yeah, I'm Pearl, and I'm a rapid transformational therapist and a hypnotherapist trained by Marisa Peer, who's a celebrity hypnotherapist. And in this video, I'll show you how Vishen Lakhani's core Mindvalley ideas, the world, that idea of world as a mirror of your inner state, helped me reprogram my beliefs about love and fix my own marriage. By the end of this video, you'll exactly see how to apply this to your own relationship and your daily life. So for years, I waited for validation, right? I wanted my husband to praise me, admire me, and because in my own that fantasy world, I imagined that my world is my prince, like my married life is going to be where I'll be treated like a princess, and I'll be like cherished and admired, and my husband is going to be super fond of me. But the more I kept waiting. I never got that that feeling in my marriage. And the more I waited, the emptier it felt. And then a realization hit me. And that realization was that this was not about him, it was about me. This whole feeling empty in my relationship was less to do with him. Of course, everyone has their own progress to do. I do believe in that. But I had to do my own part of the progress. Sorry for the background noise. There are going to be things happening in the background, like my baby crying and the cooker just whistling. That's how new mom life is. So it was about me. Mindvalley teaches that everything outside of us is actually a reflection of what we carry inside. If I wanted admiration, I had to first give it to myself. I had to first spend time on my own self and treat myself the way I wanted my husband to treat me. And that is when I decided that I will become my own husband. And I started praising myself in my journal every day. I looked at the mirror and I admired my strengths. I created rituals of joy like making myself tea and celebrating small wins. And I showered myself with love, like I'd gift myself beautiful things. I'd tell myself how grateful I am to be the person that I am and how blessed I am that the universe has given me this beautiful life, right? I started feeling blessed about myself and I showered myself with love. I'm telling you, day in and day out, I became a favorite version of myself. And this was not just self help, right? It was neuroscience, the kind of teaching that Joe Dispenza shares at Mindvalley. When you feel an emotion repeatedly, your brain rewires to normalize it. And when you normalize love, when you feel like your brain, your body, your own self is very much worthy of attracting love, that is when you attract it eternally and externally. Yes, there could be like many reasons for us to think the way we think. That's a topic for another day. You know, we have our childhood fixations and whatever. But whatever the reason is in the past, you can fix it. And how you fix it is not just through visualization. Like I said in the beginning, I was imagining, but it was not backed up with that action. That is why it was just imagination. That is why in my journal, I wrote every single day. I took dedicated time to look into the mirror and praise myself and believe that I am capable and I am absolutely worthy of the exact same imagination that I had thought of when I was thinking of, whenever I would think of marriage, of being that princess in my relationship. And that is what I would write every day. I promise. One day I'm going to open up my journal and I'm going to show you. It is a dated one. I will show you that I wrote every single day. And Vishen Lakhani, the creator of Mindvalley, he often talks about creative visualization and altered brain states. In the alpha state, which is right before we sleep and right after when we wake up, your subconscious is the most open. And if you visualize yourself receiving that love and admiration, and you feel it in your body, your brain begins to record it as truth. I promise this is true. Marisa Peer, who also teaches through Mindvalley, she explains that the mind responds to the pictures and the words you give it. You know, I would just, every morning when I would wake up, I would see purple and red hearts. Purple hearts were for respect in my relationship and red hearts were for love in my relationship, okay? I would see like I would every morning created a life where I was talking about where I would just sit on a nice, serene couch and then I would see these hearts of love and respect falling on me. And that is how I imagined, I creatively visualized, and then I wrote. So I gave that separate space of admiration and love to myself. And that is why that is how I gave my mind these new pictures of me being cherished, admired, and loved. And I gave new words. I also backed up my visualizations and my journal scribblings with affirmations. I would tell myself each day that I am so worthy of love, so much so that I started believing it. And when I started believing it, when I visualized myself, when I wrote things in the journal that, I am worthy of praise. And, and if even if a negative thought came in my mind, I reframed it. I said, I am deeply admired and I'm valued every day, right? Like in the previous video, I mentioned that we have to definitely reframe our thought by saying, okay, I am deeply admired and valued every day. Then I wrote affirmations. I spoke them out loud during my morning ritual and before bed, that I am totally worthy of love. Love is absolutely there for me, right? And then I backed it up with an aligned action where I treated myself kindly. Every time I would look in the mirror and I would just smile at myself, and I would treat myself with the kind of gifts which I felt like, would make me feel great about myself, like a fabulous I gifted myself a sewing machine, because I wanted to make myself happy. I wanted to try something new without worrying if I would have time for it, or I'll have to, pay for it or something. I didn't think like that, because I was a princess in my own world and I could afford anything that I wanted, which of course added value, not from the point of view of show off. By the way, anything that you want has to be aligned with purpose. That's a thing which Vishen Lakhani always talks about, and that's a topic for another day. But I backed it up. I backed up my words, my thinking, my visualization, my journaling with an aligned action. And then something magical happened. Without me asking, my husband began reflecting love to me. He noticed things about me. He saw me not like getting, furious when he was not doing something. He started praising me. He started admiring me. You know why? Because I had finally set a standard inside. And that inside, that inner version of myself was creating an external space of love and respect for myself. And that external reality started to sync with my internal environment. And that is what Mindvalley means when they say the world is a reflection of your inner state. So if you wish, if you really wish to have, if you want to try this yourself and, watch this magic and, introduce this thing as a part of your daily practice, please download my free manifestation journal template and my 21-day mind reset journal. Of course, I'm going to have the link in the description, and they will guide you. This journal is going to guide you through the exact steps that I used for reframing my thoughts, for writing affirmations, and for tracking your alignment. And if you're ready to further build your morning practice, you can also pick up my morning ritual planner, which is available for just $5. It pairs perfectly with these 2 templates which I just mentioned. I'm going to put the links of all of these in the description. You just have to put in your email address and feel free to grab your copies. And remember that the love you give yourself actually sets standards for the love that you receive. Become your own source of love first, and then watch how the world reflects it back. If you felt great about this video and you want me to create more and more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel, hit a like button, and of course hit the bell icon for notifications. We are all in this beautiful journey together. Thank you so much.